Hello, YouTube. One thing I started thinking about is we spend all our money. You spend all your money to sit in a box. So you have to go work so you can come home and sit in a box. Otherwise, if you don't work, whatever work is anymore, I don't know. I don't even know what work is anymore. I haven't worked in over 10 years. But even being retired, you're still at the mercy of the box because you have to have a roof over your head. If you don't have a roof over your head, then you're kind of exposed to the elements. So you could be exposed to too much heat, too much cold, too much sun, wild animals, insane drivers on freeways. It's just, the list goes on. It's just like, if you really think about it, you really get down dirty and think about it, we are like conditioned to sit in a box. And the proof of that is when I was working as an electrician, we used to get places ready for people to come and sit in a box. How crazy is that? We would work outside in the heat all day, building these places, commercial buildings. So people could come in, like, say, like administrators for schools or whatever, grocery stores, whatever. And we would do all this work so they could eventually move in and sit in the box and sit on a computer all day. So even back in 1891, I remember I worked for Intuit, and it was another box. Usually like a call center. Back then it was Intuit, and then you had, I think you had Intuit, and then you had TurboTax. So it was all in a box. You're in a box. Cold calling poor old people, trying to sell them this Quicken and TurboTax. And then another job I had was another box. And so I had to work in a box in order to live in a box. So I wasn't exposed to all the ills of the world. But the thing is like, there was no health insurance. I mean, and if there was health insurance, if you got sick, let's say you're working in a box, and you're in that box for a while, and you're working, and then you get sick, but you got a good company, and you got good company benefits. But then if you get too sick to work in the box, they send you home to your box, and then they drop the insurance on you because you're no longer employed by them. So it's such a ridiculous system. And I really totally understand why people are starting to.
I'd like to go to Fifth Third Bank, please.
They're like,
I have a deposit to make.
I don't want to work in a box.
This is banking.
They think, I don't want to work in a box. I don't want to live in a box. So I'm going to live in my van by the river. But then the problem is, if you live in a van by the river, there's always somebody that's going to be working down by the river. Might be a park ranger down by the river. And they're going to say, not in my box, not on my watch. So you can't stay there. I've realized everything's just about the dollar bill. I mean, you can laugh about it or cry about it, but it's just about the dollar bill with a smile. Oh, you need to go to the dentist? Oh, we'll take your money. Because I'm a dentist and I have good health care. It's just such a freaking racket. It's just such a freaking racket for all of us poor simps. Like, if you don't have a lot of money, and everybody's discussing ways to get ahead of the system, or find a way to get ahead, or find a way to be a little more comfortable in their life. But then by the time you get to my age, you just really then things start falling apart. And you're like, I don't know how to fix this. Well, we'll give you something for that. But it'll cost money. So it's just, it's kind of it's a double-edged sword. And, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm thankful for the fact that I finally retired. But I'm still in a box. Actually, I'm playing a free online sweepstakes where you can win up to $10,000 and you don't even have to pay. It helps pass the time while I'm in my box, waiting for the dermatologist so I can go to the doctor. And then most of the unfortunate thing is, in the end, all that suffering, all that struggling, all that work, all that grinding, you know where you end up? In a box. Serial killer laugh. You end up in a box watching serial killer documentaries. Not to get off topic, but I did watch a serial killer documentary. This documentary was actually about some weirdo, some creepy dude back in the 90s that was freaking killing all kinds of people. He killed up to like 50 people or something. And he was being interviewed by Geraldo. Everybody knows Geraldo, if you're over 50. He was being interviewed by Geraldo Rivera. And then Geraldo Rivera was kind of asking him questions. And he said, so what would you do if they let you out? And he says, I'd kill again. No hesitation. I'd just keep killing. And it was obvious that the guy was like doped up on drugs, on like medications and stuff, because he's kind of, slobbering and stuff. So Geraldo Rivera says, would you want to kill me? And the guy licks his lips and he goes, yes, I would. So it's just kind of a interesting, life is very interesting when you think that you're like completely whacked out or something. All you gotta do is watch some old serial killer, freaking weird, freaking creepy documentaries on some weird dude that ate people or something. I don't know. I think it's really creepy. But I wish that life for people, all people, was just a little bit easier. Like, you didn't have to jump through so many freaking hoops. Like, you didn't have to, like, smile all the freaking time. Like, wonder if you just said, I'm not happy with this shit. Would anybody care? Nah, they wouldn't care. But the thing is, if you don't like it, you can always go back to your box. And that's the thing, is that it's nice having a box. it's nice having a box to live, but then you also have the cabin fever. So then you go out, and then you get too much sun, and then you get a sunburn, and then or you might get skin cancer or something. So there really there's no way around it. I mean, there's just no way around any of it. You just have to deal. So for me personally, I don't really care. I've been alive forever, it feels like.
I'd like to go to Fifth Third Bank, please.
And I'm tired of watching these stupid freaking commercials. But I've been alive for a long time. I wish that younger people had a different chance. Like a better chance at living a life that is not in a box. You know, like maybe somebody will invent like a magic carpet and then everybody can go fly everywhere. And they had like shade and like fans on the magic carpet. And you could like turn down the sun, you know, something like that. Instead of figuring out like some new kind of freaking Billy Bass stupid pet rock kind of crap, which is all they're selling, or some like multi-level marketing BS, or some freaking wannabe guru is trying to sell you a freaking piece of paper, you know? And the weird thing is that's been going on for decades. They used to do the freaking, back in the day, probably almost 35 years ago. They were doing these stupid ass chain letters. It's like, take this freaking letter, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put $1 in it and send it to each one of the people on the list. And then they're going to do the same thing. They're going to put your name on the bottom, and then their name goes on the list, and then they send it to the next person. Talk about a bunch of BS. I mean, come on. And that was like 35 years. Ain't nothing changes. People are stupid. We're pretty stupid. I mean, we should be like a bear or something, or some kind of like some kind of animal in the woods. Like, that was smart enough to live off the land, but no, we got to go to the freaking grocery store and spend our freaking money on a stupid card just to freaking gnaw on a freaking chicken bone. I mean, let's get real. How many people are eating out of desperation, and how many people are eating out of enjoyment? That's the thing I'm wondering. Like, how many people are out there drinking wine, sitting there in the freaking restaurant? Oh, it's just so nice. And versus the people that are just scrounging, trying to make enough money so they could sit in their box and eat some freaking top ramen and hamburger or something. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is there's nothing really. Because I'm just warbling off some stuff. But I sure wish that it was like there was some kind of way, like for people that were like, say under 30. Anybody born like after 2000. Because in the year 2000, we screwed this country up so bad. This country got so jacked up around 2001 when the 9/11 happened. And I remember 9/11 because I was installing a panel at a freaking at a school. I remember the day it happened. But the thing is that ever since 9/11, there's been tightened security on every freaking corner of the world. Prior to 9/11, there was definitely security because you had the World Trade Center. I think it was like the Trade Center in New York, but it was in '93 that happened. There's always been these freaking a-holes that's got to do some kind of weird ass crap to jack it up for everybody else. You know? Always. Always has to be somebody that screws everything up. You know, on a mass level. I'm not talking about somebody who just, you know, ratted you out on your job or something for eating freaking donuts. I don't know. But I'm talking about people that do things that affect the whole society in general and just screw everything up. No light comes in. It's just darkness. When things like this happen, it just creates a very dark environment for everyone in the world. And it's kind of sad because I can remember when the life was actually somewhat fun. It wasn't as bad. It wasn't as wasn't like it is now. It was more kind of live and let live. We had stuff like little sayings, you know, even commercials were a little more upbeat. They weren't so much like now. If you notice, a lot of commercials are geared towards medications. It's because everybody's got freaking anxiety. Everybody's depressed and has anxiety, and because the world has gone. I don't know what they call it when you're. The world has gone too technological. Everything's on Zooms. Banking is all digital anymore. There's no real dollar bills. There's none of that stuff anymore. So society has become much more AI, where everything is like behind a computer. So everybody is distanced from anybody else. I mean, you don't even really hear about stuff like, dude, I just got the freaking coolest freaking Schwinn bike, dude, you know. And who's going to freaking ride it? I mean, you don't see people doing that kind of stuff anymore. Out riding bikes. You just don't see it anymore. And it's kind of sad, especially for an older guy like me, who's been around for a long time. So, in my opinion, for younger people, I'm sure they're being taught something a lot different than what I know, but I hope they can find some joy in it. I guess that's all I really got to say. Those are just some thoughts for the day. That's what I wanted to say today. All right. Thanks for watching.